they say about funerals? There's always someone catches his death.
People, all going somewhere, all with their own thoughts, their own ideas, all with their own personalities. One is wrong because he does right. One is right because he does wrong. Pull the string. Dance to that which one is created for.
Obstacle the Earth people will put in our way?
Well, as long as they can think, we'll have our problems. But those whom we're using cannot think. They are the dead, brought to assimilated life by our electrode guns. You know, it's an interesting thing when you consider the Earth people who can think are so frightened by those who cannot. The dead. Well, our ship should be regenerated. We better get started.
It was a touching moment. Why? Because I never thought this day would ever happen. I won't have to worry about putting gas in my car. I won't have to worry about paying my mortgage. You know, if I help him, he's going to help me.
Because of Obama, I'm inspired to be the next doctor. Because of Obama, I'm inspired to be the next lawyer.
Because of Obama, I'm inspired to be the next autonomous technician.
There isn't any difference between the Republican and the Democratic parties at the top. And this has been planned ever since the late 1800s. In the late 1800s, when the financial elite got together, and they said, if we're going to have this international system, we're going to have to control both parties at the top, so that when the voters go to the polls, they'll pull the thing, and they won't know that it doesn't make any difference who they vote for. They won't know that. And that's the most important thing for Americans to remember right now. It doesn't make any difference. I mean, people thought that George Bush was going to be a good Christian conservative coming. They should have known better.
Fuck Obama! He's gonna burn it all! Fuck Obama! Fuck Obama! Fuck Obama! You want change?
This is the 21st century, and race, together with gender and even class, can be very seductive tools of propaganda. For what is so often overlooked and what matters, I believe, above all, is the class one serves. Obama's very presence in the White House appears to reaffirm the moral nation. He's a marketing dream, but like Calvin Klein or Benetton, he is a brand that promises something special, something exciting, almost risque, as if he might be radical, as if he might enact change. He makes people feel good. He's a postmodern man with no political baggage, and all that's fake.
It's the two-headed one-party system. It's the Washington Wrestling Federation. But unlike the World Wrestling Federation, where you know the game is rigged, but you still have your villains and heroes, the people actually think there's a difference between the Republicans and the Democrats. They play the game out in front about how they dislike each other, get together after the show, and do their dirty deals.
Let's be very honest about what this is about. It's not about bashing Democrats. It's not about taxes. They have no idea what the Boston Tea Party was about. That's right. They don't know their history at all. This is about hating a black man in the White House. This is racism straight up.
During his brief period in the Senate, Obama voted to continue the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan. He voted for the Patriot Act. He promised to close Guantanamo as a priority, but instead he's excused torture, reinstated military commissions, kept the Bush Gulag intact, and opposed habeas corpus. In the middle of a recession, with millions of Americans losing their jobs and homes, Obama has increased the military budget. In Colombia, he is planning to spend $46 million on a new military base that will support a regime backed by death squads and further the tragic history of Washington's intervention in that region. Like George Bush, he used the absurdity of Europe threatened by Iran to justify building a missile system aimed at Russia and China. Obama lied that America had gone to Iraq to bring freedom to that country. He announced that the troops were coming home. This was another deception. President Obama does one thing, and Brand Obama gets you to believe another. This is the essence of successful advertising. You buy or do what the advertiser wants because of how they make you feel.
Well, they did. MoveOn did give me a chance to sell out my position on troops home immediately and completely, and it was in my trailer in Crawford, Texas, one of the last days of Camp Casey, and of course I refused them, and so they cut all ties with me. You know, they sent out their big guns from Washington, D.C. to try and convince me to support, you know, a troops home eventually bill that the Democrats were trying to push through, and we refused to support that, and we wanted to keep our position of troops out completely. And now we know that the Democrats were only co-opting Camp Casey to get back in power, and we have a Democratic Senate, a Democratic Congress, and a Democratic president still going in the same direction. And so I left the Democratic Party because I saw that they were the same as the Republican Party, and ran against Nancy Pelosi in her district as an independent. And the system is definitely stacked against us and our voices, for sure. There's really no left or right. There's no liberal or conservative. Those things, those labels don't make sense anymore at all.
Barack Obama and John McCain are the same thing. We are tired of one Republican and one Democrat equaling zero choice.
Yes. Both Obama and McCain voted for the bailout that is bankrupting our country.
If you're not worried about yourself, you should be worried about your children. The American dollar is worthless. The day that Congress voted against the bailout, the dollar was stronger worldwide. The day they voted to pass the bailout, the dollar tanked. We are in a world of trouble and no one has a clue. You need to research the Federal Reserve. You need to research the fact that our country is bankrupt. China owns more of America than Americans do. We need to fight back. We need to take back the Fed. We need to re-educate ourselves, and we need to find out what's really going on.
So why am I being asked to leave and none of the other protesters, sir?
I asked you private property for your identification, okay? Come on.
But I didn't do anything wrong.
Let him go!
I had no grounds,
no right to do that. I'm not running anybody off the campus.
The Associated Press has learned that Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton have met face-to-face. The closed-door meeting comes just days after Obama clinched the Democratic nomination and just one day after Hillary Clinton's campaign announced she's planning to drop out of the presidential race.
Senator Obama had had talked to Senator Clinton about it. Was for the fall campaign.
Initially, it was believed that the secret meeting took place at Clinton's Washington, D.C. home. Obama's spokesman denied that, but won't confirm where the former rivals met.
The Bilderberg Group needs to know one thing. The United States is not your personal plaything to destroy our credit and destroy the dollar.